Hi, this is Kari from Kari's Crafts. Today we're going to continue our series on overlay mosaic crochet. I will link the videos from previous in the series in the description, and also put a link to the graph that I'm using also in the description. So we're going to continue on what we were doing before, but I've had people ask, well, I like doing this, but how do I add a third color? And there's actually a couple ways of doing this. So you can see in the sample I just used pink for a contrasting color. In the graph, I've put it in blue. So you notice the stitches in blue instead of gray, just to indicate the different color. So there's a couple ways to go about this. You can either add the third color in and do it at the same time as your other color and just alternate between them, or you can add in a bobbin. So I'm going to show you both ways. So I'm just going to add in, I'm using the dark pink and the light pink for the color A, and I'm using the soft white for color B. So anyway, so I have done the first 8 rows of the graph on here just to save a little bit of time. So, and yes, you see this is curling up a little bit. That'll fix itself once we do the border, so I'm not really worried about it. Okay, so starting with row 9, you can see I'm using my color A, which is the darker color, and I go along and all of a sudden I get to this stitch and it's blue, so that's another color. So I'm going to start out putting both colors together. So I'm going to take both of my pinks, pull out a little bit of each, and I'm going to make a slip knot with both colors. Okay, so I'm going to start with a standing single crochet in this edge here, the border stitch. So go under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So yes, it makes this stitch a little bit bulkier, but it'll be hidden in the border, so I'm not worried about it. So anyway, then we will chain 1. Now, let's see, I will work 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches, and I want the darker pink. I don't know if I can get these untangled because I got them tangled already. Jeez, okay, I don't know how I did that. Excuse me for a second while I untangle my yarns. Okay, hold those differently. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just crochet over this lighter pink while we're not using it. So we'll just carry it along. So we'll go underneath or in the back loop there. Oh, geez, I still have this twisted. Hold on a second here. Sorry, usually these are, I keep them separate, and I didn't do that before I started recording. I would suggest if you're going to do this, put one ball to the left and one to the right, and then it keeps them from being tangled. All right, so we're going to pull up a loop. We're going to have this pink underneath there, and then we do our stitch. All right, so we want 3 of those. So 1, make sure we're catching the pink or the light pink in there. 2 and 3. Now the next one is just going to be behind. You're just going to, it'll show a little bit on the back, but not a big deal. So we're going to do a double. And then we're going to do a single and catch this light pink. Whoops, did I not pull? I didn't pull all the way through. Whoops. Yeah, I've been crocheting for years and I still make mistakes. So don't worry if you make a mistake. It's not a big deal. You just pull it out and redo it. Okay, so another double. Okay, so then one more single and one more double. Okay, so now if I look on my graph here, I've got two, well, it doesn't really matter if you can change your color now because these are going to be covered up with the white stitches in the next row, or you can do two of one, then change to the other, and then do two of the other. It won't really matter because it's going to be covered up with this this double crochet here. Now normally if I'm going to change color, I'm going to stop before the last step. But this I did actually do that. It's not going to show up, so I'm not worried about it. So, all right, so I'm just going to go with the lighter pink then. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, normally if I would have changed colors, I would have stopped at this point and then pulled through with the lighter pink. But since it's going to be hidden by the white, it's not going to matter. So I'm going to go with the pink color here. Okay, so I want 9. I forgot how many I needed. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, it's a little fiddly this way, but 5, 6, 7, 8, and now I am going to change like normal. So we'll do the first part of the stitch, and we're going to put that to the back. I'm going to pull up our other one and finish the stitch. All right, so now we need a double crochet. 2 rows below, yarn over, hold on to that. Okay, and then we have a single. We're going to trap this in here, and then another double. Single and another double. And then we have 3 single crochet stitches. So just work right over the light pink. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to chain and do the border stitch with both. So chain and then single crochet and get it through there, and then I'll snip these off. Now the advantage of doing it this way and carrying it all the way across is that you won't need to weave in any ends, and sometimes I don't mind it, but usually I'm not really a big fan of weaving in ends. So doing it this way, the ends are trapped in the border, and once you put on your double border, it's going to be in there, so you won't need to weave in anything. If you do it the other way, you will have ends to weave in. The disadvantage of doing this is it is a little bit wasteful on the yarn if you're going across big expanses where you're just carrying the yarn. But in this case, it's not that far that I'm carrying it. It would be about as much as what my normal yarn end to weave in at the end would be, so I'm not worried about it. Or if you have a bigger project where you have several times where you're going to be using this other color, then it makes sense to use it this way and just go along the whole row. If you only have one tiny little section in a big blanket, then it would be rather wasteful to do it this way, but it's up to you how you want to do it. All right, so we're going to do the next row in white. And then I can show you the other method for doing the second row. And forgive me if there's some clunking in the background. Of course, I had to do this the day that the garbage gets picked up. So if you hear clunking, that's all it is. All right, so we're going to do our standing single and the chain. So we are going to do one single and then one double. So single, and you know what, I should not have done the chain with both of those. I'm just noticing that it does actually show there, so keep that in mind for you doing that. Apparently I didn't do it that way on my sample, but it's a sample, so I'm not worried either. So okay, so then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, now this is where I was saying that if it would show, I would actually have changed the color in the last steps, because now I have this loop here, but it's going to be covered up in the front by a double crochet, so that's why I didn't really worry about it. If you're more of a perfectionist and you need it to be that same color, then of course back here change like normal before the pull through with a new color when you finish that double crochet stitch. So anyway, we are going to be working 2 double crochet stitches. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hold on to that, and see that's going to be covered up there, so you don't even see the darker thing. You'll see it on the back, but whatever, it's just up to you. So 1 and 2. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now 2 more doubles. Double and another double crochet. Okay, so then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have 1 double. And 1 single. Okay. chain, and then our border stitch. Ah, okay. There we go. Grab our scissors, cut that off. Okay. And there we have the next row. So here we have the base of that third color then, framed by the white. This is what the back side looks like. Okay, so we're going to do our next row, and I'm going to show you the other method. And what I have this pink on is just a clothespin. You can do whatever you want for bobbins, but I find that clothespins are actually a cheap and easy way to add an extra color. I started doing that when I started Graphgans years ago. And I just find that that's the easiest for me, but use whatever works for you. Okay, so this row 11, we're going to just start with this darker pink. Get my scissors out of the way. Okay, start with a slip knot, and we are going to do our border stitch into this single crochet. Get my yarn out of the way. Okay, so our single crochet and then a chain, skip this chain. All right, so now we are going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, whoops, 2. Okay, so now we're going to have a double crochet, single crochet, and a double crochet. So double crochet, single, and a double. Does not want to go in there. There we go. And a double. Okay. Now, on the graph here, on row 11, we're going to have 5 singles here, and we really need at least these 3 to be in the lighter pink. You could do these 2 in the darker pink if you wanted to. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 in the darker pink, and then or I'm going to actually do both of these in the darker pink and then switch to the lighter pink for these. But this is where you're going to want to add in your bobbin of your other color. So I'm going to leave a decent sized tail. It doesn't have to be super long, but I don't know, maybe 6-7 inches. And we're just going to lay this across here. You can see in the back, I'm just laying it across. And I'm going to crochet over these first 2 stitches. And then I will, and back here then, see that kind of locks that in, but then I'll go back and weave in the yarn end later. So 1, 2, now I want to change colors here in this last step. So I pulled up a loop, now I'm changing and I'm going to yarn over and pull through with this lighter pink. Now I'm just going to crochet over this darker pink. So I have 3 more single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Now we're just going to have this loose in the back. I will actually crochet over it in the next row, but just leave a little bit of slack and that'll be fine. I'll show you how to do that when I get to the next row. So for now, just know you want to leave a little bit of slack in this dark pink. So I'm going to do 5 double crochets in the light pink. So we have 1, 2, that does not want to stay on my hook. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so yeah, leave a little bit of slack on your pink or on your darker pink here, because that way we can lift it up to the next row and crochet over it. So I'll show you that on the next row. So we have 2 more single, hold on here. Yeah, we have 5 singles. 3 of them need to be the light pink. So we have, pull this tight a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, and I'm actually going to just do all 5 of them in the pink. Yeah, I'll do 5 of them in the pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to change colors on this last step here. So we're going to drop the light pink and change color to the dark. We're just going to drop this and leave it in back for now. I'll show you what we'll do with that on the next row here. So we have our 5, then we need a double crochet, then a single, and then a double. Double, single, whoops, and a double. Okay. And normally when I'm doing these, I will either just go off the written because I've already counted the squares and everything with the written, or I'll use a post-it note to keep my place. And of course I didn't on this one just because I wanted to be able to show the whole graph without the post-it. So that's a tip for you if you want to use a post-it to go along. So I have a chain and the border stitch. Okay, so we're going to cut off the dark pink here. We're going to leave our light pink attached. Pull that through. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our light pink and just kind of lay it across, and we're going to crochet over both the light pink and the dark pink. So we'll just lay it across here, and once we get to these stitches, we're going to pull this up and go over both of those. So I'll show you that in just a second. Okay. So row 12. We're going to do our white, do our standing single crochet, and a chain. And we are going to start with 1 single and 1 double. So we have a single crochet and a double crochet. Okay, then we have 3 single crochets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have 2 doubles. One, 2. And that is why it didn't matter if we did a dark pink or a light pink for there, because you don't see those from the front. All right, so now we're going to make sure that we have this light pink brought across. It's a little fiddly that way, but you don't want it too tight, but bring it across, and that way it'll be in place for you in the next row, and it also doesn't really show much that way. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 single crochet stitches. So we're going to trap this pink yarn in with those. So just crochet over it. If you need to adjust the tension, you certainly can. So there's 1, 2, where's this darker pink? Okay. 3. Okay, now this one, you can see I'm coming to where the darker pink is. I'm going to pull both of those, crochet over both of them at the same time. Then you don't have this long string in the back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I'm going to pull this just a little bit. You don't want it too tight so that it's pulling on your stitches, but give a little bit of slack. But you also don't want this super loose either. Okay, so make sure I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So, whoops. Okay, so then I have 2 more double crochets. And then I have 3 singles. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, and a double. And a single, and a chain, and then the end here, the border stitch. Okay, cut that off. So I'm going to do one more row so I can show you how I pick this up. Okay. Okay, so I have my dark pink, do a slip knot. Okay. Do my border, single crochet, just standing single crochet, and a chain. All right, so I have 2 single crochet to start out with. So I'm going to start out in this first one here. So 1 and 2, and then I have a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. Looks like they're stacked right on top of this other one, so that makes it simple. Okay, we have a double and a single and a double. Now this again is where you could change colors here if you wanted to, or you can wait till the next stitch. I like to change colors on a single crochet whenever I can, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you on the graph here. This is going to be, where's my 13? That's going to be covered up there by the white stitch, so it's not really going to matter. So I just prefer to do the color change on a single crochet. It's up to you how you want to do it. So, all right, so I am going to start my stitch with the darker pink, and then I'm going to pull this, lay the dark pink down there. I'm going to grab this pink from behind there and just pull it up to finish the stitch. Okay, and then I have one more single. Okay, so then I have 4 double crochets. Get a little more pink. And we'll just hold this darker pink back, and then we'll pick it up in the next row like we did the last time. So just hang that back for now. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so then 3 singles, and we'll make sure that we catch this dark pink there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then we have 4 more doubles. One, oops, 2, 3, and of course I didn't pull out enough. Pull out a little more pink here. All right, 4. All right, so trap that in. I have 2 singles here, so I'm going to trap this in. Hold on a second here. Yeah, 2 singles. Okay, so I'm going to start the stitch with this light pink, and then I'm going to pull up the dark to finish the stitch. And then I'm going to drop the light pink and leave it in back like we did before. So tighten that up a little bit because it got a little slack. Okay, 1, 2. And those are going to be covered up by these double crochets, so that's why I did it that way. So then we have a double, and a single, and a double. And then 2 singles, 1, 2, and our chain, and our last single crochet. Let me cut off our dark pink and pull through, fasten it off. That tight. Okay, so that's what we do, and we're going to just continue on. So I'm not going to show this on camera, but I would just pull this pink back over to continue on, crochet over it like we did on the last row, and keep going. And then once you get to the last part, so once I got to the last part here where I'm not going to use the light pink anymore, then I would just cut it off, leaving a long tail, and then just weave those in. So anyway, that's it. I hope that helps. If you have questions, please leave a comment or send me an email.